Guys, quick question. Now that Arsenal has signed Thomas Partey's replacement, which club would you advise Thomas Partey to play next season? Let me know your answers down below in the comments. In today's video, we are going to talk about the latest transfer update concerning Mohammed Kudus, talk about Thomas Partey versus Christian Norgaard, his replacement, who is better, and also did Arsenal make the right decision? And also talk about Antoine semenyo amongst many others. So please make sure to like, subscribe, and also turn on notification. My name is Adam. You're watching SportsCornerGH. Quickly, let's jump into it and begin with Mohammed Kudus. In the just ended season, he played 32 games for West Ham in the EPL, scoring 5 goals and providing 3 assists. A lot of people were like, who is going to sign a player who is not performing very well? Who is going to sign a player who is not consistent with his performance? A lot of people talked bad concerning Mohammed Kudus just because West Ham played entirely badly and they affected Mohammed Kudus' performance. But you see, man no be God. West Ham have placed Mohammed Kudus on the market. And look at the teams that have shown interest in signing Mohammed Kudus. Mohammed Kudus then went further to change his agents. Now, he's being represented by Roof Agency. And in my previous video, I told you that Roof Agency is a German-based agency that represents big-name players like Kai Havertz, Virgil van Dijk, and co. If you look at Kai Havertz and the teams he has played, then you have to understand that this agency knows how to work. They have pool, they have links, they have connections in the transfer market. Now, the teams that have shown interest in Mohammed Kudus, we all know them. Big-name teams. But West Ham have the valuation for Mohammed Kudus that all these teams do not want to meet. They feel like the amount West Ham is asking for Mohammed Kudus is too high. West Ham wants money. They want money to sign players for Graham Potter because Graham Potter already attests to the fact that with this kind of players, he cannot do anything with West Ham. So all the teams bringing in Swabdo, they have all been rejected because West Ham need cash to sign the preferred players that Graham Potter needs for next season. Now, let me tell you about the latest update. Let's begin with Newcastle United. I stated in my previous video that Newcastle United talked about Mohammed Kudus in an internal meeting as part of the players they want to sign next season, but they have not done any formal approach yet. Now, Newcastle, on top of that list of attackers, is Anthony Elanga. Now, they have already approached Nottingham Forest for Anthony Elanga. They sent 40 million euros. It has been rejected. Nottingham Forest wants 60 million euros for Anthony Elanga. Now, Newcastle, from what we hear, if they are not able to get Elanga, the next player they will be pursuing is Mohammed Kudus. So, guys, that is the latest update that has to do with Mohammed Kudus and his connection to Newcastle United. 2. Chelsea. Chelsea have not forgotten about Mohammed Kudus, but they want to complete a deal first. Getting's deal. They want that done. Once that is out of the way, they are going to focus on signing one of these 2 players, Mohammed Kudus or João Pedro. Now, Enzo Maresca has told Chelsea that he wants a versatile attacking forward. And if you know Mohammed Kudus very well, then you know how versatile he is. He can play as a right winger, as a left winger, as a false 9, as a second striker, as a number 10. I'm sure at this point, if you tell Mohammed Kudus to play in the midfield, he's going to play. Kudus is versatile. That is why Chelsea have him on top of that list. Same for João Pedro. So definitely, after the Gettings deal, Chelsea will come back to the table and discuss this whole Mohammed Kudus thing again, because they have already approached West Ham with a player plus cash. West Ham told them, we are not interested. All we need is the l'argent, is the money. Give us the money. We know the players we want to go and sign. We'll go and sign them ourselves. But Chelsea will come back to the table once they complete the Gettings deal. Next update concerning Kudus is Tottenham. In my previous video, I stated that Tottenham wanted to test the waters when it came to Mohammed Kudus. They wanted to go in with about 60 million and see what will happen. As at then, it wasn't done, but the latest update is that talks have begun between West Ham and also Tottenham. So definitely, they are putting action to work. They are testing the waters with the amount of money they have. They want to see if West Ham are going to budge. Negotiations will go on. Let's see what happens. Let's see if West Ham will take the 60 million because Kudus will not come cheap. And I don't see West Ham reducing the amount. Kudus is very expensive. West Ham have made him a very expensive player in the transfer market. So all these three clubs are currently in line to sign Mohammed Kudus. Tottenham, Newcastle United, and also Chelsea. Tottenham, they have begun talks with West Ham fresh. Newcastle United, if they don't get Ilanga, they will turn their attention to Mohammed Kudus. Chelsea, they want to complete the Gittins deal first, then focus on Mohammed Kudus. So guys, this is the latest update concerning the player. Now, let's move away from that and talk about Thomas Partey. It was a sad news. We heard he's leaving Arsenal. And I said this, if Thomas Partey leaves a club, the club ends up winning a very huge trophy. When he left Atletico de Madrid, the following season, they won the Spanish La Liga. Yep. So a lot of people are stating that once he has left, there is a high possibility that Arsenal are going to win the EPL. Let's see what happens. But then, his replacement is Christian Norgaard. And I don't see much difference because the whole argument about Thomas Partey has been age. Christian Norgaard is 31 years of age. Thomas Partey is 32. So what is the difference? Now, if you want to compare these two, this is coming from Sakwa. If you compare them and what they have done this season, this is what you will get. Guys, let's go through it just one by one and let's see if the player that came in to replace Thomas Partey is better than him. If Arsenal did the right thing. Chances created. Thomas Partey created 20 in the EPL. Norgaard created 16. Passes completed. Partey completed 1,631. Norgaard completed 1,153. Accurate passes, percentage-wise. Thomas Partey, 88.6%. Norgaard, 82.7%. Now, you can take a look at other statistics, even forward passes. Thomas Partey, 494 forward passes in the EPL as compared to 492 to Norgaard. Other statistics here show clearly that Thomas Partey is a very good player. He's better than Norgaard, in my own opinion. I'm not saying this as a Ghanaian. I'm saying this based on facts. Just look at this. The green lines and the red lines shows you what all these two players are about. And they are comparing their abilities in the same domain. So if it comes to let's say area dwarfs, Thomas Partey falls short because he completed 28 of that. And Christian Norgaard completed 52. So there are parts where Thomas Partey is way good at that Christian Norgaard falls short. But if you take a look at this, I don't think Thomas Partey has been fully replaced yet. I don't think Norgaard can fill in the boot of Thomas Partey. For Arsenal, we'll just wait. We'll wait and see what happens at the end of the season if they can win the trophy. Because I feel like they could have easily squeezed themselves and give Thomas Partey that offer. But I don't know why. So, but guys, the comparison, you can see everything here. I want you to draw your own conclusion down below in the comments. Between Thomas Partey and Christian Norgaard, who is better? Did Arsenal make the right decision? Let me know it down below in the comments. For me, Arsenal did not make the right decision. And two, Christian Norgaard is nowhere close to Thomas Partey. Hey, it's nowhere close. Looking at the statistics I'm seeing right now, he is nowhere close. I just pray for Arsenal. Let's see how things pan out for them. But then let's talk about Thomas Partey and where he will play next. We already know that he has had contact with Barcelona. Barcelona have shown interest in the player, but Barcelona have a lot of midfielders. So for me, I would not like him to go to Barcelona. It would be a good move, but no. Atletico de Madrid, they just signed Kudus yesterday. Johnny Kudus, I told you yesterday. They are not interested in Partey because they just signed the deal yesterday. Johnny Kudus from Real Betis. So that is also out of the way. But there are other clubs showing interest. Juventus want Thomas Partey. Juventus are heavily interested in Partey. They want the player. Saudi Arabian clubs would definitely be monitoring the situation and be happy about how things are going. then they know they can definitely get their man. There are other clubs in the EPL who I believe would like to pounce on this opportunity. Example is Manchester United. Look, if I were Manchester United, I'll go in for Thomas Partey without thinking. Thomas Partey is better than Ndidi. That is the truth. Thomas Partey, he's far better than Ndidi. So the Ndidi that Manchester United want, they should go and use to take Thomas Partey. He's far better than Ndidi. That is the honest truth. Other clubs definitely are going to come and show interest in Thomas Partey. Trust me. Now that by 30th, he's going to be a free agent, don't be surprised if you see clubs upon clubs from the Saudi Arabian side, for the Italian Serie A, from the Bundesliga, from the Spanish La Liga. I mean, even Real Madrid. You know, Real Madrid don't have a strong midfield. Thomas Partey could play an important role. But guys, let me know where you think Thomas Partey should play next season. Now, let's move away from that and talk about Antoine Semenyo. Now, Semenyo has attracted interest from a lot of clubs. A lot of clubs want to sign Semenyo, but his price is not cheap. He's being valued at 70 million euros by Bournemouth. Bournemouth have told Tottenham, who recently contacted them concerning Antoine Semenyo, that see, if you want Semenyo, it is 70 million euros. Now, this player scored 11 goals in the just ended season in the EPL. So looking at his performance, Bournemouth do not want the player to leave at a cheap price. And most of these clubs are drawing a bit back because the amount is too high. They say that the valuation is too high for Semenyo. Semenyo, the truth of the matter, it should be between 50 and 60. That would be a good 70. 70 is too high. But it depends on how desperate you need a player. If you're very desperate, then you would have to go and pay that amount. But then, guys, the asking price for Antoine Semenyo is 70 million euros. Let me know what you think about it down below in the comments. Moving away from that, let's talk about Jonas Ejete. He's attracting interest from Real Betis. Basel has told Real Betis to bring 8 million euros to sign the player. If you want Jonas Ejete, then you have to bring 8 million euros. The centre-back has been fantastic for Basel this season. He has been a key player for them this season. And Real Betis have shown interest in the player, but if they want him, it is 8 million euros. Lastly, let's come home and talk about what is happening. And you know, I saw this news concerning the player we have all been talking about, Kwasi Sibo, aka Boba. Now, he says that he had no call from the Ghana Football Association concerning a chance to play for the Black Stars, but then he's ready. He wants to play for the Black Stars. He feels like he's more matured and a complete player, and he can compete for that midfield position. You see, we don't really have a stronghold on who should play that DM role. So sometimes you play Thomas Partey there. Then we let the new boys come and play. Suleimana, Francis Abu. Now this player is showing that yes, he can get it done. And this is what he told Asempa. Let's check it out.
No, there's no call from the GFA or from the Ghana Federation since I started my career or still I started playing the La Liga. But there's something that I always believe that, God time is always the best, So me as a footballer, every player that the national team will call, I feel like, he deserves to be called, and it is his time to play. So I'm always supporting with a clean heart and a clear mind. I'm just doing my job as a footballer, and I know at the right time, if it's my time, it will just come to pass. But I haven't got any call from the federation to invite me for any friendly game. There was this national team who was chasing me to play for them even this year, Rwanda.
The
coach was just they were just on me, so I spoke with them now I'm playing a league, so I just want to finish the league there now. I will see, because they say even Rwanda they name Sibo, so my name Sibo, it will be easy for them to play there. So I was like, okay. So they were getting in contact with me each and every day.
So guys, you have heard from Kwasi Sibo talking about the Black Stars and everything, his career and everything. Let me know what you think about it down below in the comments. Thanks for joining me. My name is Adam. I'll make sure to see you in the next one. Charlie, we go vibe.